Namah Parvati Pataye Govindanam Sankirtanam.
Om Narayanam Namaskritya Naranchaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet. Hope all of you are learning this wonderful sloka every time we chant the Mahabharatam or listen to the stories of the Mahabharatam, that wonderful work we talked about. This is the first sloka of the Mahabharatam, as we talked about, and it starts with the word Narayana. Narayanam Namaskritya Naranchaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet. We'll have all success chanting this sloka, Tato Jayamudirayet. And in the last session, we went through this amazing work of Mahabharata, all the Parva Sangraha, the summary of all the Parvas, of all the Ashtadasha Parvas, right? And we talked about all of them, how Janamejaya heard it from Vaishampayana, and that story, that entire story was told to the Shaunakadi Mahamunayaha by Ugrasravasa Suta, who was the son of Ramaharshana. Ramaharshini, Suta, Ugrasravasa, he was saying. So we went through we had the fortune of just covering the entire 18 chapters in summary. And at the end of which, then as Vaishampayana told Janamejaya this story, this 18 chapters, and at the conclusion, he said, Dharmecha Ardhecha Kamecha Mokshecha Bhartarshava Yadi hasti tadanyatra yanne hasti na tatkvachit. That's a very beautiful way he summarized. Oh Bhartarshava, that means, oh king, oh Janmejaya, dharmecha, ardhecha, kamecha, mokshecha, whether it is related to dharma or ardha or kama or moksha. These are the four goals of all mankind. Everybody is striving either for dharma or for ardha or kama. Dharma is dharma, ardha is wealth, kama is all desires, and moksha is ultimate freedom, is mukti, freedom. Whatever humankind is striving for in any of these areas, yadi hasti tadanyatra yanne hasti na tatvachit. This is in one sentence he summarized. He said, what is here, you can find everywhere else. You can find in other places. What is not here, it is not anywhere else. That means it's so comprehensive, this Mahabharatam. If you find anything anywhere, that is already there in Mahabharata. If it is not in Mahabharata, you can't find it anywhere else. So that such is the comprehensive nature of the Mahabharata. And so Jayo Nameti Haseyam. Itihasoyam. This Itihasa is called by the name. Bharata itself is known by the name Jaya. And this Jaya, I have told you fully. Swarga kamo labet swargam, Jaya kamo labet Jayam. Garbhini labate putram, kanyam va bahubhagini. So like that, there is good effect it gives to everybody, whether it is somebody who is desiring heaven or success, or even the pregnant women who are desiring good children. Everybody benefits from this Mahabharata. Then he said, this Mahabharata, in 3 years, Tribhir Varshai, Krishna Dvaipayana Prabhu, Anagatam Sandarbham Bharatasyasya Krutavan Dharma Kamyaya. Because he was so desirous of spreading Dharma in this world, Krishna Dvaipayana, Vedavyasa, in 3 years, he composed this Laksha Slokanvita Mahabharatam. This amazing epic, the world's greatest epic ever, was composed in 3 years by Vedavyaso Mahamunihi. And then what did he do? Narado Shravayet Devan Asito Devalah Pritrun Raksho Yakshan Shuko Matyan Vaishampayana Evatu. So that way he sent Narada to tell this story to the Devas. and Asito Devalaha to the Pitrulokas. And for Raksha Yaksha, the Lokas, he sent his own son Shuka. And to convey this to human beings, to mankind, he sent Vaishampayana to the first to the court of Janamejaya. Then Itihasamimam Punyam Mahardam Vedasammitam Sravayedyastu Varnan Strin Krutva Brahmanamagrataha Naraha Papa Nirmuktaha Kirtim Prapyeha Shaunaka. Oh, so Suta is telling Shaunaka that any human being who hears or understands or listens to this wonderful Mahabharata, Papa Nirmuktaha Kirtim Prapyeha. Here itself, in this world itself, they will be rid of all sins and they will get great fame. Gachet Paramikam Siddhim Atrame Nasti Samshayaha. They will ultimately reach the greatest goal of all human beings by following this Mahabharata. In this matter, there is no doubt at all, O Shaunaka. That is what Suta told him. So this is the wonderful Mahabharata that we are hearing about. There are so many hundreds and thousands of stories in this. So today, let us go to one of those stories from Adi Parva. We'll get started with one of those stories. Of course, the story of the Mahabharata itself is a story we have been talking about in the last 2-3 weeks. Now, we'll talk about this one of the stories. So many stories, hundreds of stories we can hear. One story, is anybody has a raised hand? I see a raised hand. I hope it's from before. If it's urgent, please ask. Please. So, and in the Mahabharata, in the Adi Parva, it all starts with Sarpayaga. And we talked about last time how one event leads to the other, one event leads to the other, how this world is an intricate maze or intricate mix of karma, action and reaction. So that is the story. It is conveyed through many stories in the beginning of the Mahabharata, how karma leads to everything and one karma leads to another, and how all these emotions in the world lead one to the other. So in that sequence, we hear about this beautiful story. It is called Suparṇākhyāna. So we'll hear that Suparṇākhyāna. In this, there was in the beginning, as a source of so many creatures and creation, there was a great Mahamuni called Kashyapa Prajapati. And he was from him came a lot of the, Brahma gave him the power to originate a lot of the creation. And Kashyapa Prajapati, in the story here, he had 2 very great wives, Kadru and Vinata. For hundreds and hundreds of years, they were doing tapas. And after doing so much tapas, Kadru and Vinata prayed to Kashyapa Prajapati that they now should have children. And so the Kashyapa Prajapati said, may great creation happen from you. I am blessing you. Who do you desire? And Kadruva said, I want very radiant, very strong, very long-bodied, very able, amazingly powerful. That kind of 1,000 sons I want, Kadruva asked. Okay. And so Kashyapa Prajapati said, you have done the tapas that gives you the power to have such children. May you have such children, 1,000 sons like you desire. So Vinata, what do you desire, Vinata? And Vinata said, very great sons, 2, stronger than those sons that Kadru asked for. so that kind of competition between them. So she says, I want only 2, but they should be much more stronger than what Kadru asked for. That is her desire. So Kashyapa Prajapati blesses both of them. They become pregnant, and interestingly, after a long time, both of them first eggs are formed. So those eggs are formed, and Kasyapa Prajapati advises them to carefully store them in pots and incubate those eggs until it is time. He blesses them. And Kasyapa Prajapati is a constant tapasvi, so he goes away and he is away doing tapas. And the two Kadru and Vinata stored their eggs in the pots, and they were waiting. And so naturally, Kadru had 1,000 eggs in 1,000 pots, and Vinata had 2 big eggs in 2 pots, and they were waiting. Finally, one fine day, Kadru's eggs all started hatching, and one after one from those eggs came amazing, tremendous snakes. So that was the beginning of the snakes. First came Sesha, then came Vasuki, then Airavata, Takshaka, Karkotaka, Dhananjaya, Maninaga, Kaliya, Maninaga, like that. So many. In the Mahabharata, you'll hear hundreds of names like that, and saying these were the 1,000 children born to Kadruha. So all this, you would see Adishesha, that's why the first one, so it's called Adishesha. Vasuki, Airavata, Takshaka, Karkotaka, Kaliya, we hear in the Krishna story, all of them, right? So all of them they came out, amazing snakes. And Kadru was so delighted, such powerful children came, and they were all very nice and very powerful, and they were all going about. And Vinata was looking, her egg had not hatched yet. She was waiting. These people are so powerful, they're doing so many things. She has 1,000 children, there's so much sandari, so much excitement, everything is going on, and she feels she is also, both of them have some competition between them, right? So, my son, what happened? Why am I not getting my son? When will I see him? So then she is so curious and so impatient and ashamed that she doesn't have a son, and there are 1,000 sons. So she goes and gently breaks the egg, one of her eggs, and out of that, a wonderful, very brilliant, radiant son comes out, but immediately he is looking at her angrily. Why did you have to do this? Why couldn't you wait? Why did you get so impatient? Do you not know that things take their own time? See what happened. So he was only half the body was there. So from the thighs onwards, he didn't have the body. Only the half his body had been formed. And then, so he was very angry with his mother. And mother was also so even more ashamed now, so sad and forlorn. But he said, because you did out of this rivalry and competition, because you did something like this, may you become the slave of your rival, right? May you become a slave. May you become a dasi. And he cursed her like that. And she was very sad. She really apologized to him. What will you do? He said, don't worry about me. And although I am an Anura without thighs and only half body, he's a Vikalanga, handicapped person. Said, I am still very, very strong. There's nothing you need to worry about me. I will take care of myself. You just make sure that you take care of that other egg and be patient. Don't do like this. And from that, a great son will be born to you, ultimately, who will release you from your slavery. So blessing her like that and forgiving her, his mother, he then with his power, he rose to the sky and went and became the charioteer of the sun, Surya. So he is called Aruna because he is like that. He is very brilliant. He first in the morning, the dawn that you say, it's called Arunodayam. The Aruna comes first, and then after that the sun comes. So he is the Aruna who precedes the sun. He is the charioteer of the sun. So that wonderful son was born to Vinata, and he went away into the sky. Then, so okay, now Vinata was just waiting, and Kadru was very happy. And one day they went to that amazing sight of the ocean. They went to the ocean for a walk, and during sunset time, and long far away, as they stood on the ocean bank, Kadru and Vinata, while they were having a walk on the beach, far away they saw this most amazing white horse, Uchaishravasa. This is this horse that was born from the Samudra Madhana, from the churning of the milk ocean. When the Devas and Danavas churned the milk ocean with the Mantra Parvata, and they got so many things, and finally they got Amrutam, the nectar of immortality. At that time, among the many things that came out of it was like Kamadhenu, Kalpavruksha, and this horse, Uchaishravasa, was also come from there. Pure white, amazing, beautiful, divine horse. They saw that, and Kadru, looking at it, said, "Oh, Vinata, see that wonderful horse over there. It is like glorious like the full moon. It's so beautiful. And yet, just like the full moon, which although it is so beautiful, still has a dark spot on it. Like that, that horse also has a dark tail. And it has a white, although it is all white." Vinata looked at her surprised and said, "What are you saying? Like the glory of a great man, which will never have any spot on it, so white is that beautiful horse. There's nothing that is black on it." Kadru says, "What, are you blind?" Then they argue with each other. Kadru challenges her and says, "Let us make a bet. We'll go and inspect that horse. If it has a dark tail, you will become my slave. If not, I will become your slave." So they challenge each other, bet, they make a bet like that. And then Kadru and Vinata, so they say, "Okay, let's go and see." But then the sun is setting. So Kadru says, "Why don't you go tomorrow morning and check? Because it's getting dark now, we'll not be able to see anything. It is so far away. Why don't you come back in the morning and check it out?" Then they go back home. And then in the night, very quickly she goes to her sons, Kadru, and says, "Sons, I need your help. I made a bet like this. And that horse, somehow you should make that horse's tail black." People saying, "What is this mom is doing? It is adharma." And they are all hesitant. They don't want to do it. Then because she is in such a rivalry mode, she gets so angry, and she has all that taposhakti. So she curses them. "You fellows, you're not listening to me." And such is her anger that she curses her own sons. "May you all die in a sarpayaga in the years to come. There will be a sarpayaga that will be performed, and all of you will fall into fire and burn away because you didn't listen to me." So she curses them. So see how one thing leads to the other. So later on, all Jaya at one time will perform sarpayaga, and all the snakes will be coming and falling into that fire because of this one. And one thing leads to the other. This so intricate is the wheel of karma. So that is so that's how she curses it. So that way, poor Kadru curses her poor sons. But one of them, Karkotaka, he is very afraid of his mother. And he says, "Okay, I mean, already she's so angry. Let me fulfill her wish." So in the night, he goes away. He finds that horse, and very expertly, he winds himself around the tail of the horse so that it cannot be seen. He cannot be seen, but the tail appears black. So in this way, he goes and does that. And next day, sure enough, when Kadru and Vinata go there, they see that horse, Uchaishravasa, has the black tail. So poor Vinata becomes the slave of Kadru. And then they go on. She becomes a slave, and all Kadru and her sons and everybody starts ordering her around. She gets all the chores. She'll be living the life of a slave, of a dasi. Years and years go by, 500 years go by like this. And finally, one day, after more than 500 years, suddenly, finally, that egg hatches open. And out of that comes an amazing, strong character. Huge. He just bursts out of that. As he comes itself, he opens his wings, his huge wingspan. And opening such power and such, all the lokas are amazed as that amazing character comes out. Then as he comes out itself, he just jumps up and flies to the sky. And with a huge wingspan, he goes like that. Even the devas, Agni Deva also does, everybody does stutis towards him. And with that powerful flight, he comes down and bows in front of his mother and says, Namaste, mother, I am here. And that is Garuda. That was the birth of Garuda. So he was the son of Vinata. That's why he's called Vainateya, because he is the Pakshiraja, the amazing bird. So this was the start of the amazing birds. So this Garuda was born and he bows to his mother. And so mother is so delighted to see him. And as soon as she sees him, she is so happy. But immediately Kadru sees that this fellow is born and he has come. Immediately she calls him, hey, come here. Oh, you just came. You see all those, my children there, all those, my sons, put them on your back and take them over there. They need to go to that next town and they have to get something, go take them there. So immediately she establishes her authority as the master. You are a slave. You are the son of a slave. You are also a slave. Like that, she starts ordering him around. So this fellow, from birth itself, he starts behaving like a slave. He takes them, he goes there, and he is also living like a slave. And then he shows them lots of places. Whatever Kadru is ordering, he'll take them to mountains, he'll take them to beaches, he'll give them tours of the earth, different countries, because he is such a great bird. So he'll be giving all those tours and everything. One day, when he's doing that, he flies too close to the sun. He goes too high in the sky. And many of those snakes get burnt because of that. They are not able to withstand that heat. So they all start falling down. Then he realizes, brings them down. Kadru is very angry. And she immediately prays to Indra, makes a big rain come down and makes them, scorches the heat, pacifies that heat and saves the children. But then she completely scolds Garuda and really insults him. And then he goes to his mother and says, Mother, why are we suffering like this? I am powerful, you are so good. Why are we being treated like slaves like this? Then Vinata tells him the story, what happened. And she says, only you can release us from this slavery. That is the curse I have. Then immediately Garuda goes to his brothers, the Kadraveyas, the snakes, and says, brothers, you tell me what you want. Whatever you want, I'll get you. What should I get for you if you have to release me from and my mother from slavery? If you want to release my mother and me from slavery. So those fellows think, okay, this is a wonderful opportunity. They say, okay, if you really want to be relieved of slavery, go and get Amrita for us. Amrita is what everybody strives for, right? The nectar of immortality. Go get that for us. If you give us Amrita, the moment you give us Amrita, you will be free of slavery. Your mother and you will be free of slavery. That is our promise to you. Then immediately Garuda is very happy. He says, that's all. They want Amrita, I'll go get it. And he goes to his mother and says, Mother, I'm so happy. They want Amrita. Let me go get it. And we'll hear but our mother is so surprised. Amrita is the hardest thing to get in the world and nobody can get it. Even the Devas, Asuras had to fight so much for it. And it is preserved in the heaven. How will we get Amrita? So, but that is the rest of the story. So with that, we'll continue next time. And we'll talk about this. So many beautiful stories like this. We'll continue next time. Om Narayanam Namaskritya Naranchaiva Narottavam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet. Thank you. So we'll hear about the next part of the seeking of Amrita by Garuda next time. Thank you.